Come on, come on, come on.
Baldur's Gate 3. Yes! Oh my god! Look at him go! Look at Sven Gary! I'm at him! I'm at him! He's an awesome dude! Look at him with his like. Oh my god, that is incredible! Yeah! That's what I'm talking.
My final thoughts were that I thought the Game Awards is probably one of the best showings in a while. Although plenty of things that we'll need to discuss. Um, but overall, I thought that everyone who won really deserved it. All the yeah.
That's what you thought, you dunce.
Talk about some of the shortcomings, following up to the award show, and then what happened at the awards show last night. Having said that, I'm really happy for Baldur's Gate for having won Game of the Year, and I am also happy for everyone else who won, even those who got nominated. I felt that they deserve to be called winners, even if they didn't win in their respective categories. I've already gone ahead and wish listed every single game with the hope that I will finally get around to all those games. But yeah, anyway, okay, I've heard enough. You, you, utter disgrace. Do better. Yes, this is long here, and I gotta say, I'm very thankful. I am now fully recovered from my hangover, from the show that was known as the Game Awards, and so, yeah, I have a lot. And as I said before, I had a lot of thoughts going through my head, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just talk about it right now. So, yeah, and in case you're wondering why I'm wearing why I feel like putting styling my hair, so I okay. So anyway, so the Game Awards. Gosh, what the heck was I thinking saying that was probably one of the best showings? It probably was in some respects. The games themselves are always cool, and and it's for the most part it's somewhat entertaining. But yeah, I have to acknowledge that there's a lot of flaws. I mean, at the time that I actually was watching that show, I was more fixated on like all the announcements, and then my time, like my couple of years I spent watching the Game Awards and sitting down and saying and hobnobbing with all kinds of really cool like gaming royalty. It was cool. And then I let that blind me to a lot of the problems that came up last night. And I have to confess that like unfortunately, I was very blinded. I know that a lot of people were absolutely not, so I only have myself to blame for that. I really should have been a bit more critical about it, but I was just too excited about one of the things which I actually did appreciate. So let's go ahead and talk about let's talk about the game awards. So the things that I actually did. So let's talk about the two things that I actually did like. Well, first off, the game trailers. They weren't the best game trailers, but at the very least, they have been making some improvements. Over time, they have actually been showing gameplay, along with, um, like the cinematics of like what they were trying to advertise. Now, is that all going to be bullshit? I don't know. I actually don't know what's bullshot yet, until the game itself releases, and then we hear about like the reviews. But as long as they're like showing like some vertical slice of gameplay, I think I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until after we kind of recover from the show, and then if we decide to take time out of our day to research into these companies, okay, fine, we might do that. But I personally am a casual. I am someone who absolutely enjoys the games. I take them for what they are until I actually know about them. Like for example, I would react very poorly to Activision, like companies that publish games under the Activision label. I would basically, gotta stay. I would turn a eye to. Other companies I may not have heard of. I probably will give them the benefit of the doubt, and then maybe I'll learn more about it and see how it goes. That's typically something that I would do, especially if I were interested in a game, and that's what I would I do as like as a gamer. So because I'm not really a professional, I'm just a guy who happens to love games. So yeah, so naturally I just very much get hyped up um until after the show, so they just cover for my hangover. And then secondly, the awards. The awards themselves were actually pretty good. I thought the selection of of awards, like the winners were actually well deserved. I mean, like me personally, I thought that games such as Baldur's Gate did a great job with a lot of things, especially especially that coming from someone who had played Baldur's Gate. I didn't. I will admit I had not played Baldur's Gate 2, but I still have Part 2, the Enhanced Edition, installed. So I'm going to be ready to play that whenever I can, as long as I can get through my insufferable backlog of video games. But that, yeah, that's all I wanted to kind of talk about. And so unfortunately, that's where all the good things happened here. So, and number three, thankfully, apparently security was beefed up because there weren't any stage jumpers. So that's part three. No one jumped on stage to try to disrupt the event. People are actually well behaved, and yeah, I very much enjoyed and appreciated that everyone still had some moments, but then until we get into the cons, in which we have yet another form of a stage crasher. So the first one, now we're gonna go into the cons here. So the first one that the is the actual is the stage crasher. The real stage crasher was the Game Awards itself. Now I understand that that sometimes like some categories would have to get rushed because um mainly because they probably didn't show up to the award show, and they probably like the nominees probably weren't going to show up anyway. Like for example, all the esports categories, not a single esports pro was actually present, and or were they? We don't know. But we just simply know that they blew right through esports. Now, I personally don't have a stake in esports. I just enjoy the energy that comes out of it. I don't have I don't like have a stake in any team, in the athlete or like coach. But I actually do appreciate that that people have taken time to make esports as exciting as possible. Okay, fine. But then where the heck were they? Um, did anyone like even bother telling them, hey, you know what? If you win, maybe you can like put out like some sort of a speech saying like, hey, it's all good. But I don't know. Maybe there could be a lot of different reasons. It could be like, oh yeah, we're just preparing for this moment, or maybe it didn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know exactly how that would work. But then again, like um how do you reconcile categories like this, or maybe like I don't know. I mean, like bottom line is that these categories, they felt like they were obligated to do so, or there was going to be hell to pay the next day, and people would just talk about it like, oh no, people don't like like esports no more. People don't like RPGs anymore, and that was another thing too. Why the heck were these categories like rushed out? Like how come nobody took time to claim or claim like their own their own like games in those categories? You would think that like this, just let them say something, like represent them somehow, or like I don't know. I mean, like how do they even decide which categories get to have their own spotlight with someone like announcing the category? I don't understand that. I've never understood it, and I don't. And maybe yeah. So, but anyway, like that's just my thought on it. I don't think that like I personally I think they need to do a better job, like presenting the categories. they cannot afford to like rush these because otherwise it feels like an annoyance. And yeah, and then there yeah, so I don't really like how it's been managed. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and shut up right now and just move on to the next thing. Number two, the speeches. Why were the speeches being rushed? Why was it that we started hearing about like people trying to convey some like poignant moments, or people who have won for the first time and just trying to like show love and appreciation for for the art, the craft that they put in, and then they don't, and then they get told to hurry the heck up, get out of here, or like flash some sort of a sign that's a sign up there saying, "Hey, you need to hurry up." Yeah, would you please hurry up? Or I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, but that sign apparently existed, and I understand that like people have to move along, but then again, like these are the award show. If you're gonna call it an award show, then let the show be about the awards, and let them be about the people who gave up their time and their money to just try to make these games happen. And I'm very appreciative, by the way. And that's why I meant it when I said I wish listed every single one of these games, just so that I can get time, at least have them in my radar, even though it's, my wish list has ballooned to like somewhere in the hundreds and it's creeping up to the thousands. But I'm gonna wish list them anyway because I don't want to lose sight of like all the awesome games that are there. And eventually, I will get around to buying them. I might even buy. Yeah, it really depends. But the bottom line is, I do want to give games the attention that they get, and they definitely do deserve the attention here. More importantly, like I, as someone who loves indie games, I'm very disappointed in how badly treated indie games have been.
Metric couldn't make it out
Yeah,
tonight,
I haven't wish listed,
but they wanted us to
but
pass
well
along
done.
their
I
thanks
probably
for
will check
everyone
this
who
out.
played and voted for Cocoon. And to Yepi, Mads, and Jakob, and everyone at the team at Geometric, thank you so much for being such a wonderful partner on this game. Thank you.
Nice. Wait.
The Geometric team also wanted to thank.
Why they play that music so early?
Nominated with all the
Give the
awesome
girl a chance to
videos in
say
this
something.
category. We can't wait to see what you guys do next. Thank you.
That was rude. Okay, that was absolute BS. I'm gonna call that out. That's a negative for me. I love indie games. I will play them forever. I started developing a love when I heard that they existed. It's like, how come I never? Yeah, like that was just like my first realization was at PAX Prime. It was actually my second year after having been shafted. Waiting 4 hours in line to try out Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, and I never got that, and I felt very bitter. But then I never had that problem with like indie games, and so I started championing them. So yeah, I'm very disappointed. By the way, Bethesda, you need to apologize at some point. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, like if I were to digress, so I'm going to digress, and then I'm just going to go ahead and carry on with this rant here. Um, People really need their spotlight. And this is an award show. I understand you have ads, but then stop it with the freaking like celebrities who are just there to like say, "Oh, look, hey, look at me, look how cool." And then you give them time to goof off, and then you don't give time to anybody. I understand like that whole Christopher Judge thing. I saw that. I saw that speech too. But then you overcorrected, and then you basically made the winners irrelevant. Shame on you. I meant exactly what I said when I said like everyone who got nominated that evening definitely deserve to be winners, and they are the real winners. Every single one of them did win that night. It's just that like some shined a little bit more, but otherwise everyone who made it in the game, who got recognized, um was they're winners in my book. That's all I gotta say. So, um, basically, like these next 2 points, I think that is, I thought this was just really painful to watch. The Gonzo skit, for example, that went on for way too long, so much time. I mean, like, yeah, sure. I mean, it was a nice little short bit with Gonzo, just repeating stuff that Jeff Keighley said. I thought it was funny, but I don't think that should have been in the show. Um, like I mean, like the Game Awards, they were so pressed on time, and for some reason they just simply like said, "Hey, you gotta hurry up. You need to hurry up. We gotta move on. We gotta do this. We gotta do that." Well then, cut it out with these skits. I mean, they weren't funny. They were actually pretty bad. Um, Gosh, I mean, like so much time has been lost because of like like I have to say it. This skit was actually very stupid, and I used to love the Muppets as a kid, and they're and nowadays that they're cool when they like show up, but I can only like watch them for like a minute or before it's time to move on, and I was very disappointed. I was actually very um in how much time they wasted in the and then lastly was like the flexing of all the celebrities. Um, I do have one more complaint I need to like bring up. The celebrities absolutely ruined the show for me. Like there were, I mean, like I didn't. I mean, first off, I thought it was cool that like some of these actors are like getting into like games based on like they're like developing their own games, or then they go into TV shows based off of games. Like shout out to Fallout and the cast here, but then there was just way too much time spent on showcasing like celebrities, like people who made movies, and they're bringing them to the the big screen. I totally get it. I think there's a benefit to having like games adapted into live action TV shows or movies, but then like we spend more time celebrating them rather than people who actually like created the IPs. And to me, that doesn't make any. To me, that it really doesn't make any sense. I think that there was way too much time emphasized on the shows themselves rather than the games. I mean, like to me, I felt that that was really insulting, and I think that as a gamer, it almost makes me feel feel ashamed to be a gamer, and I didn't really care for that for it that much. Um, I truly I think too much time was trying to give uh all these like big name like celebrities all the spotlight instead of like the gamer. This is supposed to be an award show about gamers, and if that's not something that people are cool with, then basically end the show, or just give it its own like 2 hour like time slot. Which, by the way, I'm gonna devolve into a bunch of different like cons. So the number of commercial the number of like product times like product placement occurred. I didn't really like that. I didn't care for that very much at all. I was bored, and I ended up walking away for a while just so I can catch so that because I didn't really care for it, and I did not know, want to like think about like the different commercials. I didn't want to hear about them. But although I understand that those are probably commercials that are going to like bring in money, but then what? But then again, like if we're gonna do like commercials, maybe just do one or two at a time, and then do it maybe like every 45 minutes. I mean, this is why I'm glad I don't really watch Twitch these days, because it's all about product placements, advertising, all that nonsense. And I'm watching this on YouTube. So what the heck? I mean, do we need to start paying for subscriptions just so that we can skip the ads? And I'm not trying to like give any ideas, but that's what it felt like to me. It's like ads within ads within ads, and that really made me upset. That we're only paying money for to watch fewer ads than what we got. I think I'm just kind of done with ads, and as much as I originally said before I would like to make it to the Game Awards in 2024 live, but then again, I'm not so sure how I'd feel about ads at a live show. Truthfully, I don't know what to say. I mean, I was overall like the more I think about it, the more I start to feel very disappointed in my initial reactions. I mean, like at the end of the day, I am a guy who just loves the games. I don't know much about what the heck goes on, but for me to actually like say, come out and actually say all the things that went well, I mean, and then the things that could have gone a lot better. I think that it really underscores how badly this show has kind of tanked, has flopped. At the end of the day, I mean, like I'm happy with with how the awards themselves went. I'm just very disappointed in everything else. I mean, for goodness sake, I heard about and not that I heard about, I actually saw that someone tried to convey something to respect a colleague who's no longer with them, and then they were rushed off the stage. I think that's just beyond tone deaf. I think that's just plain wrong, and Keeley really needs to like control his like absolute control his team a lot better, or he needs to take control and actually like give respect to the people who are just trying to make something. Oh, and oh no, I'm not even done yet. I thought I was done, but I there is one more bullet point that I had left off, and this is gonna be a huge one. Did Jeff Keighley forget to actually make uh make time for the tragedies that went on, like the controversies? Typically, what I've seen in in past years, um, Jeff Keighley had taken like a minute or two out of the time from the show, during the show, by the way, to call out certain controversies that have occurred in the show. Two, in particular, I remember. One was calling out Konami for having blocked Hideo Kojima-san from attending the Game Awards show, and he couldn't even accept his own rewards. As far as awards, and as far as I remember, Metal Gear Solid 5 actually got it was either Metal Gear, yeah, well, whatever. It was a prequel with Big Boss, and he couldn't even accept his award because Konami told him not to. He took time out to call out that one controversy. The other time was when Activision got embroiled in so many scandals with like with allegations of sexual harassment and all that, all in like breast milk stealing, all that stuff, and then like Riot Games doing its own thing, and a bunch of other developers being accused of doing a bunch of stuff, and then higher ups within those companies that have a that were being alleged to have done really bad things. I I mean, like, now Jeff Keighley did not call them out by name, but he actually took time to say, "Oh no, we don't stand for like harassment of any form. It does not belong in the industry. So now, if you want to, please donate." um, and so if Jeff Keighley could actually do that for those two occasions, and there may be more, why was it then that he did not call out the vast numbers of layoffs that have occurred in like in this year alone? Why did he not take time to call out like all the devs? Couldn't even take time to say thank you to all the developers who have put in their time and their efforts to make the games as they were today. Which, by the way, I this also like underscores like how badly tone deaf the Game Awards really is. For goodness sake, one, they included an esports coach who claimed that who confessed that he had not been coaching in a while, and he asked to be taken off the list of nominees, which I'm thankful that he did. So, and then secondly, why was it that Destiny 2 was considered like uh, uh, a nominee for best community support? Now, this may be like a point of opinion, but Destiny mistreated its people by choosing to lay them off, in spite of the fact that that their leadership assured that they wouldn't. What the heck? What was that all about? Now I don't. I'm just a gamer. I'm just a consumer. I'm just a guy who just I don't know. I just like to play the game. But at the same time, I found it to be very hypocritical to include Destiny for its mistreatment of its employees. How dare they when they've just got done like laying off like the workers that they said that they wouldn't because they had like a some kind of like a rainy day fund. I think it was like somewhere up in the like $1.7 billion. But well, yeah. So I'll be sure to like link the article to that one. But anyway, in any case, I think basically what it comes down to is that this Game Awards show was completely out of touch. I think moving ahead, I'm going to be like watching the Game Awards with a very more discerning eye. They totally blinded me with like with Baldur's Gate getting hyped up, and my view they absolutely deserve to win the categories. Not saying that they were better than other games, but they definitely did deserve to win. I saw a lot of really cool games like compete against each other for different categories, and like say what you will. I mean, like even like I honestly think that like the games were very top notch, and so that's cool, and I'm very happy about that. Except for you, Destiny 2. I got my eye on you. Beyond that, to the Game Awards, I'm going to ask you, please do better. Um, this is now that I've had a chance to like look back on it, I would actually I'm going to take back what I said, saying that this is the best. I actually now think that this is the worst. Um, please do better. I do not want to have any reasons to try to skip out on 2024 because I do love the game. I do love seeing like good games get rewarded. But but I don't know how I feel. But you're gonna have to try really hard to convince me that you have changed. I don't know exactly how you're gonna do it, and I don't know. I don't even know what. I mean, like but all the feedback that I've given it in this video, I want you to take that very seriously. All right. All right. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Um, but I want to say if you watched this and we made it this far, um, I want to say thank you. I'm not even gonna go with my usual spiel. I just want to say thank you for like even taking time to watch. Um, yeah. But anyway, take care. Have a good weekend.